Once upon a time before crossovers conquered suburbia and Teslas took over luxury car rankings, there was a different kind of flex. The early 2000s gave birth to a new kind of beast, full-size luxury SUVs. Not just rugged, not just upscaled, these trucks were status symbols on wheels. Today, we're taking a look back at three of the boldest from that era: the 2002 Cadillac Escalade, 2003 Lincoln Navigator, and 2002 Mercedes ML500, which one offered the best blend of power, prestige, and practicality, and which would still turn heads today. Buckle up, because we're diving deep into the ride, power, tech, and style of these luxury giants. Let's roll ... performance and powertrains. First up, under the hood. In the early 2000s, big horsepower and even bigger torque were must-haves. If you wanted to make a splash in the luxury SUV scene, the Escalade came out swinging with a monstrous 6.0-liter V8, making 345 horsepower and 380 pounds-ft of torque, paired with a buttery-smooth 4-speed automatic and full-time all-wheel drive. It made the 5,800-pound SUV feel downright eager. Shifts were seamless, and the low-rev rumble gave it that quiet confidence. Buyers loved the ML500, lighter by nearly half a ton. Packed a 5.0-liter 24-valve V8, good for 288 horsepower. What it lacked in brute strength, it made up for with agility. 0 to 60 in under 7 seconds made it the quickest of the trio, and it felt it. Every throttle input was met with sharp, coupe-like acceleration. Even sounded sporty now, the Navigator. Lincoln brought a 5.4-liter DOHC V8 to the party. But despite its luxury focus, it lagged behind both in sound and speed. Getting this 6,000 pounds beast moving felt like work, and the 10-second 0 to 60 time proved it. Sure, the new 4-corner air suspension helped smooth things out, and the transmission was improved over older models. But compared to the Escalade and ML500, it felt like it needed more oomph, ... braking and handling. Surprised these three didn't just go fast, they could stop fast too. The big Lincoln came to a halt from 60 miles per hour in just 129 feet Mustang GT territory. The Escalade and ML500 were only slightly behind at 132 feet. That's serious braking muscle for SUVs, tipping the scale past 2.5 tons. As for handling, it's a stretch to say any of these felt nimble, but the Mercedes definitely earned its sporty badge. Through a 600-foot slalom, it clocked in a solid 55 miles per hour. The Escalade wasn't far behind at 54, and even the Navigator managed 53.8 miles per hour, surprising considering it's the widest and heaviest of the bunch. Still, it was the Cadillac that stood out for steering precision and surprisingly agile road manners. One tester even said, "It drives smaller than it looks," and that's high praise in the SUV world. The Navigator, even with its new rack and pinion setup, still felt like it needed a gym membership. The steering was vague, especially at highway speeds, ... off-road, and towing capability. Now, let's talk dirt. These luxury machines weren't just for valet lines, they could get dirty. Too, all three had legit four-wheel drive systems, though Cadillac's was the most seamless. Its full-time AWD setup used a viscous coupling to constantly adjust power between the front and rear, typically keeping a sporty 38-60 seconds rear bias. Lincoln's control track system was more configurable, offering everything from 2WD2, 4-low via, a rotary dial. Hardcore off-roaders appreciated this flexibility, though the system lagged slightly when reacting to traction loss. Mercedes, for MATIC setup, combined full-time AWD with traction control and optional low-range gearing grate for snow, mud, and anything in between. It wasn't a Wrangler, but it could get itself out of a sticky trail just fine. Towing Cadillac took the crown, again rated for 8,500 pounds. The Navigator trailed slightly at 8,300, and the Mercedes was clearly not the hauler here, with a 5,000-pound max ... ride quality. All three of these SUVs were built on full truck frames, which made them capable, but potentially bouncy. However, engineers worked wonders with suspension tuning to make them glide over pavement like sedans. The Escalade won this category hands down. Despite its simpler, solid rear axle setup, Cadillac's electronically controlled shocks and rear self-leveling system delivered an unexpectedly plush ride, especially on bumpy roads. It felt quiet, composed, and confident. Lincoln came close. Its four-corner air suspension and huge 18-inch tires soaked up rough pavement with grace. Body control was good, and crosswinds didn't faze it. But on certain corners, the Cadillac felt a bit more balanced. Mercedes, it rode like a European sports sedan. That means it was firm, controlled, but sometimes unforgiving over broken pavement. On smooth roads, it felt luxurious, but when the concrete turned rough, it sent a few shudders through the cabin likely, thanks to its shorter tire sidewalls and tighter suspension calibration, interior, and features. Inside, all three brought big luxury vibes, think heated seats, leather, everything. And enough buttons to launch a rocket. Cadillac kept it simple but classy. Mercedes went for functionality and ergonomics, but it was the Navigator that brought the most show. Inspired by the classic '61 Continental, its dashboard design had serious retro flair. That said, some touches felt too busy or overthought. A radio hidden behind a motorized door and gauges that disappeared in bright sunlight. All three offered folding mirrors, heated seats, and high-end audio. The Navigator added optional power running boards and a power tailgate, stuff you didn't even see in sedans at the time. But oddly, none of the trio offered a power-adjustable steering column. Go figure. So, which one wins? If you wanted power and presence, the Escalade had it in spades. Cadillac's ride, towing capacity, and refined drivetrain gave it the edge. If sporty luxury was your thing, the Mercedes ML500 delivered a taut, responsive driving experience perfect for urban explorers. And if you craved sheer size, features, and smoothness, the Navigator was a rolling living room on 18's three SUVs. Three interpretations of early 2000s luxury. And even today, they stand as pioneers of a segment that's only grown more dominant. Which one would you drive home? Let us know in the comments. Smash that like button, subscribe for more vintage versus modern car matchups, and we'll see you on the next drive. Thanks for watching.